Yeah. So I got this on. So yeah, trying to enjoy some beach time today. It's like it's a little cold right now, but it's supposed to be like you can get up to the 60s, 70s later. So that's decent beach weather, you know. It's always good to get in nature, man. At least for me, anyways, you know. I'm also going on 4 years. I haven't drank alcohol. Praise Jesus. So anytime I can get in nature, especially post sobriety, post being sober, it's super important for me, man. Is nature important to y'all? Yes, it should be. It should be. Even if it's like a dedicated 20-minute walk you take every other day in the park, or every day in the park, or every day, you know, that you can just smell some grass, smell the trees, hear the breeze, you know, get some sun on you is a good thing, man, because we don't get enough nature, man, you know. And for sure, nature is highly important, man. This time last year, I was running 3 miles 3 times a week in parks here in the Bronx, and I'm telling you, man, once I started running in the park, it like opened up a whole new world for me, man. Like I really fell in love with nature at that point, man. Because I it's just something spiritual, man. About I don't know, man. It's hard to describe, bro. But like really, like I will be in the park praying and running, talking to God, and what up, King, and just bro, like just tapping in, you know, tapping into that life force, you know, that God life force, the God within you, the God within nature. And it just felt really good, man. You know, so I highly recommend taking walks in nature, runs in nature, go to the beach, go to parks, man. Even if you just squeeze in 10 minutes on your lunch break, man, it's worth it, man. I used to walk a lot, take walks a lot in Riverbank Park in Washington Heights, um, on lunch when I would get my lunch break, and even those help, even doing stuff like that was super beneficial. You know, even just just nature, man. It's a spiritual thing, man. It really is, man. It really is. And if you couple that with like going and praying and or reading your word in nature, is just like wow, you know, like a really good. It's just really good for your soul. You know, it's really good for your soul. It's really good for you. I highly recommend it. And what up, Savage? What up, Raj? Yeah, man. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited to get back to training. I'm excited to train, rather. You know, I'm excited to, I'm looking forward to because I'm making a decision to go back into the workforce, right? Because I don't have to go back into the workforce, right? I'm making a decision to go back into the workforce, so I'm excited about you know being like a regular because I'm not trying to work no crazy jobs either. Like I ain't trying to work. I really don't want to work overnight shifts if I can avoid it. Many moons ago, I worked for almost 2 years for MTA, and yeah, I will not disparage the MTA department, rather MTA as far as like it being a job where you can make a lot of money. Rather, because it is a career. Yeah, it's very serious. It's a career. It's not a job. It's a career where you can make a lot of money. Right? It's a career where you can make a lot of money. This is very true. But if you're not wise, you're gonna sacrifice your health big time um, in making that money because you're gonna work a lot of weird hours. I worked a lot of overnight shifts, a lot of late night shifts. You know, weekends, holidays. Yeah, my first year at MTA, I got hired November 15th. I worked straight every holiday, for like I think 6 months straight. The minute I got hired, like once I was first a conductor, and then I uh got promoted to train operator. So I went from the person that opens the doors in the middle, and then I became the person that drives the train in the front. Um, And yeah, that first year, my first 6 months at MTA, I worked every holiday straight. Like I never got any. Like I'm talking about Thanksgiving, and not even like the holiday, the day of, but like not even the day before the holiday or the day after. That was yeah. So I'm not. I really don't want to work overnight shifts. There are a couple of jobs that I have applied for that overnight shifts are a possibility because that's just the nature of the job, and if I gotta do what I gotta do. It is what it is. But being that I was prior to my diagnosis in January, I was already out of the regular workforce already like a year. I was already working for myself for like a year. I got wrongfully terminated in October of 2023, right? And from working a security job at a high school in Washington Heights, I worked there for like the last 6 years. So after I got wrongfully terminated, I started working for myself. Of course, I was still applying for other jobs, but nothing materialized as far as any steady employment. I had a brief uh, gig. I call it a gig that I worked for UPS for like a day. Literally, I worked for a day for UPS. So that was a gig. And then January of 2025, this year, I got diagnosed. So yeah, it's been a process, man. It's been a struggle, um, and it's been a lot of trusting in Jesus Christ, man. Because bills still got to get paid, man. And money still got to get made. And praise Jesus, it's still being made, it's still happening, man. I can always do better. I can always strive to be better, and that's my intention, right? Um, Donations always appreciated. Thank you very much. I do appreciate it. I will not make no qualms about that because I'm a content creator, so I don't feel bad about asking for donations or saying that donations are appreciated. Right now, well, first off, I believe I provide good value. Like I don't just put anything up on my social media. You know what I'm saying? Like I pride myself in providing good value, things that are gonna help you be a better person. Live a better life. What up, Freddie? You know, um, I believe, I believe that I provide good value. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be a better example of what a Christian should be, right? Or man, a guy should be a follower of Jesus Christ, right? I'm trying to be better every day, right? I'm trying to love the world the way Jesus loved the world. As far as people, right? Jesus loves people, loves his people. And one thing I'm learning, man, and one thing that cancer taught me, that there's no way that you can love Jesus Christ and then not love his people. That doesn't make any sense. What? The first commandment is to love, man. Right? Because when Jesus Christ summed up the Ten Commandments, he said, love your neighbor as yourself, right? So I've been really, really trying to be a loving person, man, and trying to be a better person. So in that, with that, I try to be honest here. I'm always trying to be transparent. What a Roman. I try to give you guys tips on how to be healthier, right? I also lost over 110 pounds within the last 3.5 years, right? And, I weighed at one point, tipped the scales at 297, 299. I always just rounded up to 200 pounds. I was 300 pounds back in 2019, 2017, around that time. I definitely was 300 pounds back then. Um, and pre-diagnosis, I got down to 165 pounds. Right? So I think it's before me getting my diagnosis of my condition, I had worked out a lot and started changing my life. I stopped drinking alcohol. Stopped eating fast food. You know, started working out every day, every day. Doesn't mean every day was a crazy intense workout, but every day I worked out. Whether it was a walk, yoga, lifting weights, boxing, jujitsu, mobility work, whatever it was, something push-ups, calisthenics, something to that nature. I worked out every day, and that led me to losing over 110 pounds, man. That's why I know I can help y'all if I need help with losing weight and doing it on a budget, man. Because I wasn't on Ozempic, I wasn't on steroids, I wasn't on TRT. You know, I did use some SARMs, some supplements like creatine, some MK. I have I had good experience with MK. I had a good experience with Rad 140. Um, because of my condition now, I probably won't be able to use those things ever again. Not that they're bad for you, but you have to be closely monitored if you're on them things. Once you get a diagnosis, like I got diagnosed because, like for example, TRT, it could sometimes. I had a tumor removed. That was the thing I had. My cancer, it's not mine, but the cancer's tumor that was in my body, the cancer that was in my body, like it got removed. Cancer's tumor in my body was removed. So SARM sometimes, and some people could promote the growth of tumors, and I can't have anything like that, in my body. So, but I had a good experience with MK. I had a good experience with Rad 140. I had a good experience with Caradigm. I had a good experience with S23. And then 23, I didn't even make it through the full cycle. That's a long story, but I had an experience with that. I gained some good, again, like a good 8 pounds on that joint, like real fast, you know. And then the Rad 140 was with the MK was crazy. Like I gained almost 20 pounds on that joint, you know. And it was basically all muscle too. Because I was lifting weights a lot of the time, and MK makes you like you be hungry on the MK, and then mixed with the Rad 40, your strength is super good. So, anyways, man, you know, bottom line, I didn't use Ozempic to lose no weight. You know, I basically just, just got my ish together, man. You know, got active. You know, what up, Jose? Started realizing that life is short, man. You know, you ain't got time to play, man. If you can move your body, if you're healthy, if you're in a position to be out and go take a walk, go take a walk, man. Because I think for all of us, there's gonna come a day, whether sooner than later, there's gonna come a time where you can't take a walk. Whether that's through age, whether it's that you get sick, whether it's that you get hit by a car. At there's gonna be always some point in your life that you're not gonna be able to be active. So while you can be active, man. That's why I'm big on the whole be active, be grateful, man. Because while you can be active, man. Because there's gonna come a day where you're not gonna be able to be active, and you ain't gonna never regret taking more shots. Like, damn it, I wish I would take more. Wish I would have had one more round of tequila at the bar. No, what you gonna regret is like, damn, I wish I would have went to the park more with my kids. Damn, I wish I would have played golf more when I could have. Whatever it is, man. Whatever you're into, you know what I'm saying? Like, I firmly believe gratefulness, man. Like whatever life I got right now, the life that I really want, how to get from where I'm at now to the life that I really want, right? Because everybody has a version of their dream life, right? But to get from that version to the life that I really want, you have to be grateful, man. You have to be grateful for what you got right now. You have to be. That's the key to that dream, man. You want that super abundant life where like you're living your dreams, you can help your family, you can help people around you. You can build legacy. You have the freedom to do what you want. You're at peace and you got good health. And you can travel. You can do it. When you live in that abundant life, man, the only way to get there is you gotta be grateful for the life you got right now. The time when you gotta apply for a civil service job and be a regular 9 to 5 for a little bit, right? Until you can achieve that ultimate life that you really want. You gotta be grateful, man. Like I said, I've been working steady since I was 20 years old. And I'm sure as most of my generation. I'm 48 this year, right? Most of my generation, all we know how to do is work. I know many of my friends have retired young and they still working. Like they just never stop working. It's crazy. Like I got a good friend of mine. Like, he retired and he's very, well off. Not well off, but he's doing well for himself, right? He did well for himself. He was very smart with his career trajectory, and he's able to retire in his 40s. And my man still be driving Ubers, still be driving, like doing snow removal jobs. Because that's what we do, man. We work. We like to work, man. We feel like we like being productive, especially when you can do it. I used to be like tell people like, bro, the minute you can retire, you should retire. But if you really, first off, you got a need and you got to work, you got to pay bills. That everybody got to work. It is what it is. If you're 7, you got to work. That's life, right? You can't knock nobody because they got to work because they got to pay bills. But if you're working and you really love what you do and you're doing it because you love what you're doing, then hey, man, I say working to the day you die, man. If you don't think it's work, right? If you love what you're doing, what's up, Angelo? I believe in work, man. If you work and you love what you work, the work you're doing, and it's not work, you know? It's your passion, man. All that being said, man, I'm trying to be super grateful, man. Super grateful for my life, super grateful for my body, super grateful for my wife, super grateful for my sons, super grateful for our children, super grateful for my bloodline, super grateful for my body. Again, grateful for Jesus Christ. I'm grateful for my salvation, and I'm grateful for my sanctification, man. Because the more I grow in Jesus Christ, the more I realize how short I fall, right? From His grace, man. Like God is so good, man. And that part when he talks about loving your enemies, right? I struggle with that, man. It's hard. Loving your neighbor, like what's up, Will, what's up, Bella. It's hard, man. It's hard to love your enemies, man. I struggle with that every day, man. But again, I always come back to the thing, like, how can you say you love God, you don't love His children, man? You gotta love His children, man. Gotta love His children, man. So, anyways, be active, be grateful, first start grateful to physical movement. Follow Jesus Christ and be high level, man. Drop some comments on my page. You got questions about things, how to follow Jesus Christ, how to be high level. You got questions how to lose weight. You got questions how to not drink. Questions about being high level, mindset. I'm reading a book right now called The Warrior Book by Garrett White. Highly recommend it. It's very straight to the point, easy to understand. It's an easy read. It's The Warrior Book by Garrett White. I highly recommend it. Yeah, enjoy the rest of your day, man. Peace.